Terry.
I'm Lynn.
I'm 79.
And I'm 72.
She's my trophy wife. You know, we've long been fascinated by the stories of the Camino de Santiago in Spain and the various routes that the pilgrims have taken for more than 1,000 years. In May, we walked a portion of the Camino Francés, and we liked it so much that we decided to try another. And we decided that we'd better do it soon while we still can.
We chose the Camino Portuguese, which is a total distance of about 270 kilometers, or about 168 miles. We started at the cathedral in Porto, Portugal.
What followed over the next 17 days proved to us that there's no age limit on adventure. We have now arrived at the cathedral. We're overlooking the rest of the city. Porto is the second largest city in Portugal. Well, we are at the start of the cathedral. Our starting point. We're going in there to get our credentials, and we'll be on our way.
We're by the river, the Douro River. We're getting ready to walk to Matosinhos, which is 12.5K. And I think we're just going to follow the river for 6K and then turn up the coast.
Yeah, we made our way down to the river, so we'll be following the river for a while, and then we will take a turn to go to the actual coast, and so we will be walking along the ocean. These are our friends Paul and Ann with an E, that we met along the way, and so we're continuing to march toward the ocean. There's the ocean right there, so we'll be approaching that shortly. It's about 12, so we might stop and get lunch pretty soon. All right, we have reached the ocean, and we'll be walking along this for quite a ways. Stop for a little rest here, just a little bit. Bit of an old fort to our right. I don't know what the name of that is. We are on the literal way, and we'll be walking along the coast for quite a while. This is beautiful with some of the waves hitting the rocks and get the surf. Yeah, pretty. Look here. Yeah, we finally found a restaurant. And Lynn's got the shrimp, and I've got the quesadilla, shrimp quesadilla. Very good. And we're continuing on our way along the ocean, and some cruise ships out there, you can see. So off we go. Yeah, we're continuing to walk along here after lunch on our way to Matosinhos. We haven't been out of the city really. It hasn't really started to feel like the Camino yet. As we're walking along, we're encountering this thing. We're not sure what it is. Yeah, we're just coming into Matosinhos, and this is where we're going to spend the evening. We've got to find our place. Interesting statues here. We're on our way to dinner, and we're just passing by. We've stopped along our way to dinner, and we've stopped in a church, and this thing is just, as so many are, so beautiful. We are beginning day 2, and we're on our way to Mindelo. And the weather this morning is a little spotty. It's kind of misting, but not quite rainy, so we hope it clears up later. But we are off right now. We're headed out for this bridge. I think it's a pedestrian bridge that crosses the river up here. So right now it's the mist is picking up a bit. Not quite raining yet, but heavier mist. Made it to the bridge. Going over there, can't see the river very well. There's a barricade kind of on that side, so you can see a little bit of it down there. We just got our, we went to a tourist office and got our first stamp of the day.
I think that's the lighthouse ahead.
Oh, a lighthouse, yeah. Well, it needs to turn its light on. It's kind of dark today, gray. It's this misty stuff, not too bad, but This is the first time we've been off the pavement the trip so far. We move further up the road. There's a lighthouse that we're approaching. Lynn says that she read that's the second highest lighthouse in Portugal. So that's the road dead ahead. We're walking into a pretty stiff wind right in our face. It's kind of quit misting, but the wind is cooler, and probably would have put a sweater on, but I'm going to keep walking for a while. And we've come across this little chapel here that is interesting, right on the coast. So we're going to go inside and see if we can see if it's unlocked. We've come up some stairs and gone behind the chapel, so we are just getting a view of the shore right here. Beautiful long waves. Windy though. Just a short distance beyond the chapel, we've encountered our first boardwalk, and just saw a sign that we'll be going by some rocky and dangerous stuff, so we'll just keep our eye out for it.
For ships.
For ships. I don't know about for us. So we're heading up there next. The wind seems to have calmed down just a bit. Maybe I'm just hoping. We stopped along the way to get a cup of coffee and to get out of the wind. It is, before I said it looked like the wind was backing off, but it wasn't. So it's quit raining, so that's good. So we are back on the road again.
There's a little yellow arrow right there.
Oh yeah. So we're still doing the boardwalk thing, and we've got about an hour or so to go before our lunch restaurant. Back on the pavement again. Coming up on some kind of an obelisk, but we don't. I guess there's a sign there to tell us what it is. Still along the coast. There is a refinery that we had walked past and can now see it in the distance. Well, we have managed to sit down to lunch. We found a lunch place, restaurant, and I have ordered, there is a beef kebab, or I mean a calamari kebab there, and I have the sardines. So we're looking forward to this. That's the restaurant we just ate. In fact, they've got a big lineup here waiting. They do everything on a charcoal grill. All of the sardines on the grill. Well, the weather has actually cleared up a little bit. So we've got maybe a little less than an hour to go, I think, before we hit the hotel for the day. And the hotel is called On the Way. Climbed up to a lookout point, and we'll be following that boardwalk along there. I don't know how much longer we've got. I don't know much.
You're on a really neat area of the Portuguese Camino with a lot of rocks and little indented beaches, which they say could have been around from ancient times where the ocean created these.
We've just finished a lovely dinner, and so we're going back to, it's called On the Way, which is a beautiful little apartment thing. But we're right here, we're on the coast, and what's really interesting about this, I'm going to pan back this way again, is that instead of allowing $10 million homes to be all along the coast, they've put this beautiful boardwalk. And this is for the public, and it's a really neat thing. So,
And that's the
we're really enjoying it. It's a little cool right now. It's cold and we're going into the wind, but the boardwalk is just super. We do have houses here, but they're in back of the boardwalk. All right, we are starting. We are starting day 3, and we're in Mindelo. This is Anna behind us. Delightful place we stayed last night, and she is our wonderful hostess. So we're beginning. It's a beautiful day today. The weather was a little sketchy yesterday, but today it looks great. So off we go. I don't think I mentioned before, but this is Sunday, the 21st of September, 2025, and it's a beautiful day.
Very nice. This morning to wake up at 7 o'clock.
This was the restaurant that we just finished, and it was delightful. We both had the pork, and I think we left about half the food. There was so much of it. It was just great. Here's our friend Bailey from Jacksonville. We've been walking with a bit, and we are passing this nice, neat church here, but it's closed. And why these churches are closed on Sunday, I don't know, but it's closed. All right, this is our dinner group and breakfast group, and they are from, if I can recall, Germany, South Africa, Holland, Denmark, and the good old US of A, which is now Costa Rica. This is the start of day 4. It's a beautiful day. We have the winds died down a little bit, probably in the low 50s. We're starting off, we're going to Barcelos today. And it should be about 17K walk, and we're looking forward to a good walk. We had a wonderful dinner last night with some folks that I got on video this morning at breakfast, and we had a great time. They're just delightful people. So off we go.
Another truck coming. Sarah?
Yeah, we just made the turn. Had a great lunch at a little sandwich place. It was terrific. Ran into our Denmark people again, and
I had a €1 glass of wine.
€1 glass of wine. Now we're back on a dirt trail again. As we continue on our way, and we're now below 200K. We are now in Barcelos, and there's our chicken of Barcelos that we told the story about before. There is the bridge that we're going to cross over, and it shouldn't be it's been a long day, but it shouldn't be too much further after this bridge that we get to our hotel. We just visited the cathedral, very impressive, and this is looking of a nice little street scene here in Braga. We've just entered the gardens area. We're not sure what this structure is, but it is super old looking. Maybe we'll find out later. Today is Wednesday. It's the 24th of September, and we're beginning day 5 of walking. We took a rest day yesterday. Had a great time, ate in a super restaurant last night. The salmon was excellent, and so this is our little place we stayed. It was a bit hard to find, but it was delightful. So we're just about to take off. We've got about 22K today, and we've got a pretty good uphill climb that we read, so we'll see what happens. The first part of our trek is getting through the city of Barcelos. We're going into that tourist office there to get our first stamp of the day. This emblem, this chicken, is just all over the place. Really neat. We're still in Barcelos, but this is a marker we just came across, so that's good. Well, we've walked almost an hour. A little bit of an uphill here, and we finally reached the outskirts of Barcelos. We just stopped here at a cemetery, and so many of these are just works of art. We just met two of our from Germany and Austria, our friends along the Camino. Yeah, we took our first break of the morning, had a Coke here. Neat little place. And we'll be continuing up that road. Here's the little San Sebastian chapel. We just passed the 188K marker. So we're making progress, and we've been going uphill a little bit, although gentle, pretty gentle. And we're back on a road that's a lot easier to walk on. Yeah, we just stopped some 100 meters before we get to our hotel for the evening. Getting to be late afternoon. Okay, after a 23K walk today, we are at our place and really glad to be here. So we have had this wonderful dinner tonight, and many of our friends, this is like the UN speaking languages. We have heard so many languages, and everyone has contributed a great story to a great night. So we thank you all. Hello. Well, good morning. We're starting our day 6, and this will be our 6th walking day. And this should be a relatively easy one, about 8.5 miles, a little less. So this was the place we stayed last night. I'll do a reverse thing here. We had a great community dinner. I started to say at dinner we had a number of people from all over the world.
We had 5 Germans, 3 South Africans, 2 Spanish, 1 Scot, 1 Taiwan, 1 South Korea, and us. Okay. I'm already ready to take off my sweater.
I don't know if I mentioned about the weather, but it has been cold in the morning, cool, very cool in the morning, say 50 degrees. And then it warms up, and by this time, which is a bit before 12, it is absolutely beautiful. I mean, perfect weather, beautiful, totally blue sky. We had the one day of rain, but the rest of the days have been perfect, so it's really been nice out here. We're coming upon this medieval bridge that Lynn had read about. Now it's a tiny little river that it goes over. We're approaching a town, a couple miles, maybe a little less. Ponte de Lima, and bridge over the Lima River is what that means. And in the background to my left, or foreground, I mean, I can hear what is probably the Lima River. Well, to our left is the bridge, and there is the Lima River. We are coming into the entrance of town, into the town, and there is a larger medieval bridge. We crossed a little one earlier this morning, but that's a big one. We'll cross that tomorrow when we go on our next walking day. We cross that bridge first. But right now, we're looking for a little guest house thing and a restaurant to have lunch. We are just coming into what looks like it's going to be a really beautiful little town. We're not quite sure what this is. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow. We have sat down for lunch and enjoying this sausage tray with cheese. Most unusual. We're in Ponte de Lima and just finished a terrific lunch of charcuterie, I think you call it, cheese and meats and so on. Neat sculpture here.
No, we are happy about it. We are very happy.
We're making our way to the hotel for the evening. Neat bell tower. Good morning. Today is Friday, the 26th, and we're just about to start. It's about 8 o'clock, so we're starting a little earlier today. And we're starting on what everybody says, every source says, is the most difficult part of the walk. We're going to have about a 12-mile walk, but it's going to be with a lot of some really, what they say is severe incline. So we're just going to see. And we'll just do the best we can. Well, we have made it down to the medieval bridge. We go across that bridge, and then we're going to cross, at least somewhere, we're going to cross those mountains in the background. That's the hard part. Those are the steep parts. Well, we stopped at a place, and I got a stick because I'm not so concerned about using it on the way up at these steep hills, but I am on the way down to kind of brace myself going downhill, so that's why I got it. A little rough going through this part here, but it's all been flat so far. Well, we're coming along. We have met a couple of friends we've been walking with here, and this whole wall of trinkets going on. All right, so we're starting our ascent up where we cross this highway above us, and so this is part of what we'll be doing, but it's a pretty, we read it's pretty steep incline for a good ways. Well, we've come up a decent incline, and you say this is what, eucalyptus? This form of eucalyptus here. Well, we have stopped for our first break of the morning, having a Coke here, and we've got one of these things. We're not sure exactly what they're called, but they're all over Portugal, and they're kind of a custard type thing, and they're just absolutely delicious. All right, we're starting. We just went up one of these. Now we're starting the up trek that we have heard about, the ascent. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, we're continuing to go up. That's Jim up ahead from South Carolina, from Columbia, South Carolina. So we're continuing up. This is a very rocky way, a little bit on the uptick, so tiring us out a little bit.
Oil, they probably, it's a plantation.
No, yeah.
And then they probably cut it down and make the oil for cosmetics. That's
a lot of oil.
But
Yeah,
maybe they
is.
have a lot of koala bears here too. So.
All right, so there is our trek going further up. We're looking at the map, and we don't think we're all that far from where we're going. So we stopped off here, a wonderful log, take a little rest, and we'll trek up here just momentarily. This looks like Jim ahead. He thinks that we're approaching the top. So we'll be real glad to see that if that's the case.
Amazing, and then it was built. That bridge.
Yeah, we got through the uphill part, and this is just a gentle downhill now. I think we'll have one more uphill part before we get to our destination. But this is, we're glad to get through that other part. So we got a cross marking up here behind me.
Winery, they don't have the grapes like this, right? But so they had them lined up on the side. But now I've noticed that they.
And we made a great stop for lunch. That's our proprietor cooking over there. Just a sandwich and whatever, but it's funny, these places just stop, and then you see so many folks that you had seen along the way. We saw several. So now we start. This looks, we don't have very far to go to the hotel, and this looks like a lot easier way than we've been going. This is Saturday the 27th, and we're beginning a little earlier today because we want to avoid the rain. There's rain in the forecast, and we want to have hit our destination before that comes. It's a little warmer this morning too, about 53, 54 degrees, so we're looking forward to a good walk. This old bridge we're about to cross, this is even older than a medieval bridge. It's a Roman bridge built by the Romans. Yeah, we have come through the town of Roubaix. So stopped and had a little Coca-Cola and one of their famous pastries. And so we're now continuing, but these rocks you got to be really, really careful. Well, we got past the rocks now, and nice smooth path, and I think most of where we're going today is kind of downhill. We don't have any more huge uphill climbs like we've had the last day or so. Yeah, we're coming up on some kind of a larger town. We're not exactly sure what it is ahead, but tonight our destination is Valenca, which is just this side of...
You know what? We're a lot further than Roubaix. That must have been something. No, it's not Roubaix.
Okay. All right. Anyway, we're crossing that international. It's a river, and we cross that. We'll be in Spain. But tonight we'll be in Valenca, which is still in Portugal. Yeah, we've come across this funny little path.
We went a couple extra miles.
Well, here's a road sign of the various kilometerages, I guess you'd pronounce it, or how many kilometers there are. 135 to Santiago, so roughly half, I think, from what we've done. Neat. Well, I had a little coffee, and it was great along the way. Stopped, rested a bit. There's some vineyards we just went by, and this is our way down here. A little rocky, but we're going mostly downhill, so this is a welcome change.
And we're trying to beat the rain.
Trying to beat the rain, that's the big thing. Well, we almost avoided the rain. We're within about 10 or 15 minutes of our hotel, and we did run into some rain. So so far so good. We are in Valenca and just had a great lunch with a fellow named Eamon. This is a walled city. It's Valenca, and it is the last stop that we're going to have in Portugal. So tomorrow we'll be making our way into Spain, but it's a completely walled city. I'll have to learn the history of this, which I don't know right now. Okay, this is September 28th. We're starting the day out again. It is a little warmer today. It's about 63 degrees or so in our start, and we have about 20K to go for today, and that's about 12.5 miles, but I think it's mostly flat, so this should be not as challenging a day as we have had and will have again.
I'll show you where it is worth it.
We're making our way out of town, and it won't be too far that we'll be crossing an international bridge. I don't know what the name of it is, but we cross the river over into Spain, so that'll be fun, into Tui. Just on our way out of town. It's Sunday morning, but the churches aren't open yet. In the distance is Tui, and that is the bridge that we're going to be crossing. And this river ahead is the dividing line between Portugal and Spain. So we'll be going into Spain shortly. Well, we're starting across the bridge, and this bridge, I'm told, is designed by Eiffel. What was his first name? Gustav Eiffel. And this, we think, is the Douro River. It is the river between Portugal and Spain, and there is Spain right there. We'll get a little more of that as we approach it. Correction, the river is the Minho. Well, we're about halfway across the bridge, and this is what we think is the dividing line. Well, we've crossed the bridge, and we will shortly I don't trip and fall and break something. We are now in Spain, or I guess we were in Spain when about halfway across the bridge, but now it's official. This is our friend Anna we have been walking with.
Hello.
And have a group meeting up ahead. And there's the way we're going right there.
Forgotten about it, and then
Making our way along here, a little quieter street. It's
he's
nice.
been looking at it and kind of said for years.
We thought we were going to go over the bridge, but it turns out we're not. And we're back out on the highway for a little bit, but we've got a good shoulder here to walk on, so it's comfortable. And we're back on the natural trail again. It's warming up a bit. I might take this sweater off.
Any other programs here in the
Just had a coffee and back on the road. This is a beautiful section, of course. There's an alternative route that we're trying to avoid, going through industrial areas. And there's two routes, and we're trying to find the one that doesn't do that. Okay, here's our split at the industrial way and the old way. The old way is a little longer to our left, but we're going to take that rather than walk through the industrial area. And we are about 110,000 meters from Santiago. These fellas just passed us on the road, going through the river, getting a drink. We're going to take that side. We found a wonderful bench, so we're having a little bit of a snack here. Spain is an hour ahead, so we had to reset our watches. An hour ahead. Still lunchtime. Well, we stopped at a little local restaurant, very busy and very loud. We have arrived at our destination for the evening. I think we'll have to figure it out better, but I think it was around 22K. But here we are. We have just come up from our apartment and settled down a little bit, and we're going on. This looks just a block from where we are. It looks like the main square of the town.
A local holiday going on.
Yeah, there's some kind of a local holiday. We don't know what it is. We're here in some sort of festival, and we're not sure exactly what the festival is, but pretty lively. We just finished dinner and we are in Perino, and it's some kind of a holiday, but it is really something around here. That's the restaurant where we had dinner. So it's about 9 o'clock and we're heading back to our place, but it is really busy around here. There is, as we said, some kind of a holiday, we're not sure which, but lots of people out here.
Hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah. Today is September 29. It is a Monday, and we're starting our walk for the day. It's just barely getting light here. We had an hour change from Portugal to Spain to make it an hour later, so it's now about 8:15 in the morning. Temperature's cool 56, and we're going to look for some coffee right now. There wasn't any coffee in the room that we could get at, so we start our day. You can't see it very well, but that's 102,616 for the first marker that we have seen with mileage, kilometrage, whatever it is. So we're headed up this road. I think we get a bit of an uphill today. So this is a little more difficult than we had yesterday, which was pretty much flat. Yeah, we came across this neat painting here before we go through this tunnel. We are just about to break 100. This is, I don't know if you can see it real well, but just above 100, about 102.21. So we're going to call this our 100K marker. Our total was, we figured, about 260K, maybe a little more, but about 260K, so we're breaking 100. Yay! We have kind of caught up with these people who are actually pulling their luggage, and we can't understand why anybody would do that. We are in the village of Mos, and we stopped at this local place for a cup of coffee and a bottle of water, and it's, as you can see, it's pretty crowded. Yeah, we just came up a pretty good hill here. A little difficult getting a foothold. We think we're kind of at the summit, though. We think that's it. Well, we got off the pavement on a nice trail here. Lots of shade. Easy walking, pretty flat. Just finished our lunch, and we're in Redondela, and we're on our way to our hotel for the night, or our apartment for the night. Lady's going to meet us there in about 10 minutes. We start our morning once again. It's the 30th of September. Looks like a beautiful day coming. We have temperature right now of about 59 degrees. Our destination today is Pontevedra, and that's about 21K. We hope to get there. We can get in after 4 o'clock, I guess. So we're looking forward to a good day. This, we think, is an old aqueduct, and there's a way here. You walk right under the thing. I just got off the main drag, and we're at a nice trail here for a while. Well, we're about 3/4 of the way up on this incline. This is as good as we've had.
After I took a tumble.
Oh yeah, Lynn just took a tumble. Hurt her right elbow. Fortunately, I think she's okay. We finally, I think anyway, hit the summit for this.
Another video.
So we're downhill.
Well, there's not very many. I guess we can. And I'll check.
As we walk along, we see these memorials. People leave various items, photographs, flags. We're walking with our friends here from Italy and Germany.
Yes.
And we are coming across this. What lake is this?
No, it's not. It's,
Oh, it's
the
a river?
well, this estuary.
Estuary. Okay, it's beautiful.
I'll tell you what it is later.
Yeah. We're a little surprised at the elevation. I mean, the elevation change, the gradient. We saw a sign back there said about 15% for this, and I'm feeling every bit of it. They say what goes up must come down, and so we're now coming down. A little easier.
Yeah, this is a really nice town.
Okay, we're starting our trek across the bridge. Yeah, after some up and down, we are on a nice, flat, cool path again. The dog up ahead is Lola. And we saw Lola yesterday at lunch. We're getting a few more rocky paths here. These are not as steep as we had a few days ago, but you do have to be real careful. We have made it to the summit of our walk today, the high point, before we go to Pontevedra, which is our destination. And I'm not sure that Costa Rica, Pura Vida. I'm not sure this was any tougher today in particular, but just the cumulative effect. A time or two today, I got the idea that I might be pushing the limit of what this whole body can do. But it should be pretty well downhill from here, and so.
Hey.
All right, we are dog tired, and we have made it into Pontevedra, and we're looking for a parking garage where we have her bag, and we'll pick that up and then go to the hotel. We have arrived at Pontevedra, and we picked up Lynn's mochila, which she is now carrying, and we are looking for our place for stopping tonight. We're in the Old Town section of Pontevedra, and we're looking for number 24. A really neat area of little places. 20, we're very close. Okay. Well, today is September 30th, and it's, gosh, I don't know what time it was, about 4 o'clock. We finally made it to our place in Pontevedra. And this was maybe the most difficult day of the trip. It was about 21K in total length, and there was a lot of up and down, rocks to get by, that kind of thing. It was a difficult trail. But I think it was just a cumulative effect of everyday walking. But we are really, I'd say we are dog tired, except that I don't think I've ever seen a dog as tired as we are today. Today is October 1, and we are taking a much needed rest day here in Pontevedra, and we're just walking around the town now. We slept till about 9 o'clock this morning. I don't think I got out of bed till about 9, and it really felt good. We needed it. This is the historic section of Pontevedra, and lots of space here. We are in a really interesting place. This is the remains of a convent that was built in the 14th and 15th centuries. There's a sarcophagus. I don't think it's identified.
This says true.
And we're just in one little section of it. This is really neat. There is a bust here that I'm going to show that it says was from 1480, and it is right around here.
Yep. Plaza de
This
Peregrino.
is the Sanctuary of Pilgrims,
The Plaza de Peregrino.
Plaza de Peregrino.
If you go a little closer,
Go in there and see what happens.
and I'll take your photo.
We're on our way to dinner to meet Janine and Wendell, and we came across this really neat fountain. Just finished a wonderful pizza dinner with Wendell and Janine. So we're walking back. This is the Pilgrims Cathedral. This is October 2nd. It's a Thursday. And we're starting out early this morning in the dark because we have to get the bag on the transport. So we'll be going over there in the dark, and we got about 13 to 13 and a half miles today, but no big uphills, I don't think. So off we go. Yeah, it's just starting to get light. There's Venus up there, you see. And we're crossing this bridge to get out of Ponte Vedra. It's about 7:50 in the morning. I just turned around. There's another bridge. We finally made it out of the outskirts of Ponte Vedra, and we're now making our way. It's getting lighter, so a lot of pilgrims ahead. We have exactly 60K to go, meaning we've come about 210, I guess. Well, it's about 9:30 a.m. and we are moving along on a really nice path, but it's much cooler than it was yesterday, and not much sun overhead, so it's the combination's a good bit cooler. I'll stop for a Coke along the way, a little rest. Sun's coming out, beautiful day. And we come across every now and then one of these vineyards areas.
It's just a little private one for these
Yeah,
people.
got some corn here, some vineyards. A lot of pilgrims out today. Weather's good, about probably 60 degrees. We are at marker 49,630, so we've broken 50K, meaning we have about 31 miles to go. So we got another, I don't know, 5K or less to go for the day. We just finished up a nice little sandwich lunch and met some nice folks from Virginia, chatted with them a bit. We're now coming up to
Caldas de Rey.
Yes, and this is where we'll stay for the evening. So we're trying to find our way into our little apartment that we have for the night. We made it to our little apartment here in Caldas de Reis, and the walk today was a little over 13 and a half miles, about 22K, but it was very gentle up and down. And we feel good today, and it was much, much better day than a couple of days ago. So back to feeling good. Today is Friday, October 3rd, and we are continuing. We're in
Caldas
de Reis, and we're going to Ponte Cesuris today. This is only a distance of about 10 miles, so it should be a little better. We're on this bridge starting out. Here is our Camino showing the way. There's our bridge that we're going over. And it's cloudy this morning, probably about, I don't know, 55. But we're looking forward to a good walk. We are back on an old Roman road. I think the number is 19. But this literally was a road during Roman times. Straight ahead. We have been on a general upslope since we left, but it's been very gentle, and so it's not been any problem at all. We have now broken 40K. We just stopped for a little rest break here. These trails are what I love about the Camino. We have come across some groups, and sometimes it's a little hard to get by them, but we did, and now we're just out here by ourselves, and it's wonderful. 33, and we're very soon going to put up for lunch. We're trying to find a place for lunch, and as we're looking, we're kind of coming across this pedestrian walkway thing. But this church looked very interesting, and the I don't know what you call this of the graves, the way they're positioned like this. We just finished lunch, and we've only got about 3 or 4K to go to our destination today. We made it to Portuguese, and we are in our room in a little hotel thing here. We kind of share a kitchen, but we've got our own private room and bathroom. And the walk today was around 10 miles or so, and there was some up and down, but it was fairly gentle and not too strenuous. We're less than 30K from the cathedral in Santiago, and we're going to break that up into 2 days for 2 reasons. First of all, we want a couple of shorter walks to end it up. And the other thing is that we want to get to Santiago on Sunday rather than Saturday because it's less crowded and we'll have an easier time of it. So that's how the day turned out so far. Today is Saturday, the 4th of October, and we are making our way on to Padron today. It's a fairly short walk. It's only about 8 miles. However, the weather's changed a little bit, and we're in a bit of a mist. Not really enough to put a raincoat on, but makes it a little bit not as much fun. But we've had great weather, and we consider ourselves very lucky so far to have had just this little bit. Picorino is where we're going today. So that's again about 8 miles. So we should be able to handle that pretty well. So we'll see what happens. We're making our way out of town, and we got word of a little bit of a shortcut here. So we're cutting over we're going to cross the river on a Roman bridge, and that will be where the Camino, official Camino, joins in. So we made it to the bridge. There's the official Camino sign. So we are back on the official Camino, and this is the river. It says on here Ruedo. I'm not sure that's correct, but anyway, it's very industrial. It's what? ULL is the correct name. But anyway, it's kind of ugly. What we just crossed was a bridge that's been built over the old Roman bridge, but you can see all the way it was built many, many, many years ago. Yeah, we are in Padron, and so there's a street and with all the commercial buildings to my right, but this is a nice little walk through a kind of a park area.
River to our left.
Yep, river over here to our left. We are leaving Padron, and we came across this cemetery, very interesting. And there's the big church over coming into the view. Well, here we have stopped on the outskirts, leaving Padron for a little snack. It's not raining heavily outside, but it's still misting. Not the greatest weather in the world, but certainly not the worst. So we're into this little village, walking around. We're not sure what the name of it is, but it's a neat little place. A lot of it looks very old from the construction. Iro. It really isn't raining out anymore. It's very overcast and so on, but it's warming up a little bit. And Lynn is still choosing to have her Big Bird raincoat, we call it. I've just turned around, and we have a nice long flat straightaway ahead of us. Come across a nice path to walk on right next to the railroad. That'd be neat to get a train by, but we'll see. Now we're back to walking on the highway a bit, and we have come upon a very welcome bench. We're going to make this turn, go up that hill there. We're going to have higher hills to climb tomorrow on the last day than we do today.
We're almost at our stop.
Well, headed downhill a bit. That's nice. And here is our, I don't know if you can see that, but it's 18,010 meters to go. We are almost at our destination, so we have decided to stop here for a little lunch, and I think we can get in about 1 o'clock. It's not even noon yet. We have stopped for lunch, and we have the family in here who has the restaurant, and we have been hola. So we just finished our lunch, and we are eating here with the family, and we have a grandmother, a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother, and we're finished up with the shortest walk of the 2 weeks, I think, and it was about 8 miles, and the weather was spotty. We had some kind of misting rain, in between putting on a raincoat and not, so we got a little bit wet. But we got to the hotel here, and the most interesting thing about this is that we just finished lunch, and it was kind of at a restaurant, but it was really just a family place. And while we were pretty much through our meal, but it was time for the family's meal. So they sat down and they ate, and there was this baby Shoal, of 6 months, and then there was the mother and the father and the grandmother and the great grandmother.
And they offered us their homemade.
Yeah, and of course we got treated to their homemade cafe, liqueur,
Their homemade wine.
homemade wine. It was just fantastic being with the family. We chatted, and it was a great experience. Today's October 5th. It is our last day. We're on our way to Santiago, and we've got about 10 miles to go, about 16K. And this morning we're starting out, it's about 7:45, and it's dark and it's cold. It doesn't, we're not going to get any rain, we don't think, so that's good. But it's going to be kind of cool today as we are proceeding further north. So here we go. Well, it's finally getting light. We came through a really, really dark, scary path. We were the only ones there. It was not a good idea to start out this early in the dark, and the trail in part was covered by a lot of rocks and tree roots and all of that kind of thing. Lynn had to turn on her cell phone for a flashlight to see. Anyway, it's now, sun's starting to rise, so we're gonna be in good shape. It has now lightened up, and we're on a real roadway, and we're back to our regular pace. We've only covered about a mile because we were so slow getting through that dark forest path, but things are looking up.
All right, Terry is walking along after a scary morning this morning, but the light we were very happy to see.
Well, we're continuing to rock along here. Sun has come up nicely, so we've actually lost our way twice this morning, got off the path. Once about maybe, gosh, close to a half mile off and had to track back. And then once maybe like a quarter mile off. But we've had our time this morning.
Peaceful Sunday countryside.
Sunday countryside.
This is a really pretty part.
Broken 10 kilometers. So, 260 down, 10 to go. And we're taking a little shortcut here. Kind of steep, but not very long. We have stopped at a nice little coffee shop here for a coffee and a bit of a rest. I just checked the route, and we're about 4.5 miles from Santiago. And we're also at the top of the summit, so I don't think we have much uphill to go. This is great. Yeah, we finished up our little coffee and break, so we're back on the trail, and we're headed through this. This is an alternative route, and we're not sure. It was very confusing what the book said. Okay, this is the main route, I guess. Okay, there was an alternative that
we think would have been nicer, but people don't want you to go that way.
Yeah, but this is a pretty nice way here.
It's not supposed to be this way for 200 meters.
Okay. We think that is our first glimpse of the outskirts of Santiago. Well, we just passed a marker behind us that said we had broken 5K. So we're on our way into the city, although we haven't come across any real indication we're in the city yet. We're about 2.6K away, and we're finally getting into some of the city here. So we're a lot more sounds of cars and whatnot. We have understood that there have been massive protests, Palestinian protests here, and we're coming upon that right now.
Here, we're going over there. We're following this girl.
Well, we are right in the middle. We got through the main part of the protest, and we're now seeing one tower of the cathedral.
We made it. Okay, it's a good feeling.
So today is Monday, October 6th, and we have completed the Camino. There's Lynn in her new Camino de Santiago sweatshirt. We are resting comfortably. We slept for at least 10 hours last night, maybe a little more.